Yupping the smoke, causing NRG to use util to get into these positions a little bit more than they would want to before they get to the site. And we'll see that already 2 smokes, 1 towards mid from that attack side of NRG in the 1-way for long here. Looking to aftershock out the trips as they slide on into B for a first round hit here.
And that's where the combination and the composition of NRG is too good now for these B-side hits. Aftershock breaking trips, or it could just be a prowler. There's a lot of utility you could use. Now a pop flash and them trying to push back towards the spawn. Unfortunately, it does not connect for the pain shells that were thrown, but it's a 1-for-1 at least for now. 4-on-4, a flood back from Boba. Right-click classes preventing out the 2. Make that even 3rd. Finesse now trying to stay alive, half HP. Up in contact, 2 players swinging out. And Cloud9 get the pistol.
A pistol for Cloud9 to start it off. Usually the second half has been where they've been finding that success, but here, with all these pings behind them, let's see what NRG has planned.
He's trying to avoid a top smoke to let it slowly drop down so that Vanity can get first blood. They're at the Victor being chased down. GB's away, but Crashies is chasing him down. Rudy then answers back towards the middle. No opportunities to split for NRG. And no opportunities yet to get the plant down. Weapon upgrade at least, as Moose is hiding inside this smoke. It's up to Ethan and Som. The upgrade was a Bulldog, so they do have firepower. Moose about to get backstabbed. That's another weapon down here for Ethan to pick up after the plant. But instead now too far out of reach. They need to fight together. The backstab coming out. Beautiful pop flash outside of the close smoke. And that is going to be Cloud9 in the end.
Yeah.
Playing and converting the anti-eco.
Really nicely played. You can see Som holding 6 bullets and that Bulldog kind of hesitating, waiting.
Looking for that mid control. And right now for Cloud9, remember the amount of smokes that Ender was talking about, it's not the plan yet here to fight back against that. Just a camera play to look for a trap play towards the long A. So a gamble. That NRG, we're going to try to pivot towards the A site to probe the area to see how C9 works the defensive side, but instead, NRG goes in for a split to B.
FNS holding market along with Som is going to be very tough for C9 to make it across that area. Looks like they'll go full for spawn, and it's just going to be Vanity trying to get the lurk kills on at the last moment.
That's a flash that's going to fully blind one. Cage comes up. Finesse is trying to keep the players alive. That's a 1-for-1. Oxy drives by with the Spectre to drop both players inside market. Ethan realizing that he has to push back towards the spawn. Able to get the headshot on Taruni. There's a late backstab happening through, but Vanity's very slow on this. All the players committed for energy inside this A side. There's the first walkout. Nobody's clearing it. Both of them drop and no opportunities then for Vanity to get the defuse. He's looking for exits. And as he hears the players retreat out, the second smoke comes up. And looks like Rooney didn't want to give a chance here for Vanity to get a kill.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, that's your smoke. Pressure over towards A here for NRG in round 4.
It's fast, the paranoia is pushing Oxy away. As you see Victor just hightailing inside the elbow. Slide through, counter flash, half blind is Victor. And fast lanes up and looks to retreat. Lots of utilities being exchanged so far, but there's no information on either end of how many players are actually committed on both sides of the wall here of the A site.
That was fast. I mean, look at Zeppa. He doesn't even have util left, just to heal. So again, NRG slow it down. One of FNS's favorite things, give me time in this round. And they're just waiting for C9 to get these little peeks in, just a little more info. The trips are keeping NRG safe from anything that's behind them. All they have to do is look forward.
They found my wire.
They don't want to overcommit here on these jiggle peaks. But as the Prowler does so, forces the hand, but Rooney's not done yet. Comes back out, here's a fight towards the A side. Oxy drops 2, but Finesse is pushing forward. They pinch in towards the A side, the hat comes out to get information of the last 2, but unfortunately here, Moose falls. And Vanity full kit, but up against 3 players, and Ethan with the Rolling Thunder inside the site, if needed be. Jump spot now. They know that Vanity is on top of the dumpster. They could just wait it out. Karachi is just waiting here for a second contact to come through. You already see the camera towards the elbow as well. And that's Finesse watching towards the entrance of the A site. So everything in favor of NRG for that round. For this round, rather, in the pulse plan, and Vanity is going to give it up.
Yeah, just patience from NRG. I think Cloud9 there, maybe a little miscommunication across the map. We saw as soon as Vanity destroyed that trip over at B main, they push down that pawn shop side towards dumpster of A, trying to get info on both sides of the extremities. You almost know once Vanity takes that trip, Sam's going to be there soon too. They should be able to roll this over pretty easily into another round with the low buy also of C9.
Looks like it was something similar here to like a B split type of hit. Camera could spot B main. They have the showstopper that's close. Paranoia could push forward and allowing C9 to really fight against an energy push towards the B site. But the read is good and the call is good for Finesse to have the attack side pivot more towards A at the beginning. It's an earlier rotate at least though for Cloud9.
Yeah, they're ready. So he's collapse with the utility and try to be ready for this hit.
Oh, misses the satchel, but does not miss the rocket onto Crashies. That's initiation down, but there's still a Rolling Thunder available for Ethan. Want to try to re-hit the site.
My ult's ready.
Overdrive now available on top of that with Victor. And no smokes are going to be a little bit pesky here. Blocking the vision for NRG to try to come in. There's our Rolling Thunder. There's the Overdrive as well. And the Paranoia hits Victor right away. Through smokes, we get kills. That's Oxy and Vanity to fall. Traded right back. But health advantage and make that even a frenzy advantage, catching Ethan off guard. Long range with the Guardian. Som is left alone. And you hear now Rooney getting the last pick.
Using the Rolling Thunder and not being able to come up with that win, Cloud9's loving it. They are enjoying everything about this right now, especially if they can keep the momentum going. We're going to see NRG, one of their first or second moves towards mid here.
Paranoia trying to play it close. Will be able to manage to get the kill at the Crashies, but Som jumps right back. Meets Vanity, drops him. Victor trips one up towards the B site, but nobody is going to be able to spray him down. So those two players staying alive. Oh, actually, all three are in group for NRG. Back towards the news. And C9, they have camera watching front B site. They got a dog watching now, spotting the players towards news. And there's that pinch from behind from Oxy. Looking to walk up. There's that ADS. There's that tap on the first. And there's that double swing towards the end, at least for the information, as Rooney's trying to do the same. Is doing some pump damage at least, but Ethan and Som are trying to rotate towards the A site, and Ethan survives at 7.
They've split the map for a plant above and against all the odds here, just being searched up by C9. And now recoup back towards spawn. Ethan and Som are ready to defend. Som takes the high ground. And he just gets hit out by Moose. Completely red on the play.
At least there's no utility right now for them to flash through, so Ethan could play outside in the open, maybe catch some players off guard. There's that spike, there's that first kill. There's that second swing. He has 2 flashes to work with. Rudy turns away. Now hiding ground towards the slant. Runs across! Ethan with the Red Bull clutch! And you see on the side of C9 though, after this double timeout, they're buying just enough to have a pretty healthy buy in the next, but still coming out with 2 rifles, and there's that walk down. Tried to play the contact, and Ethan, you mentioned that Rolling Thunder almost available, gets it after these 2 kills.
And we do get to different strats, but it feels like C9 wanted to play contact there. That's what we saw as these shots come in from Market. Not enough. I'm almost saying, where are the smokes? Still not too many kills going to the side of C9 to build up those ults just yet, or even having the orb control on B. They are playing back out of sight on both sides, knowing this Rolling Thunder could be a problem. Except for Oxy. Except for Oxy. Just misses Victor. He didn't decide to peek.
Dog pushes forward though, that gives the information there, and he hears the high gear left behind. Vanity once again tested towards the news. Crashes, gets hit by a trip. There's more trips coming through, and Moose will be able to get that spray onto Finesse. A rare run through the smoke with no information, gets punished for it. Seized to keep players behind for Cloud9. Now the hat gets thrown out. There's information of where NRG are at. All pinned, clumped inside the B side. Rolling Thunder that's been rolled out now by Ethan. Backstab now by Oxy. Could have been a 3 into the round, but Som is able to stop him in his tracks. Disadvantage though for NRG. As at least they get the plant down. 4 versus 2. Make that only Ethan alone. And this time around, it's a 4-player face and not a 1-2-1-2-1 to allow Cloud9 to get the defuse and tie the game once more.
All right, so we're impressed that Ethan is getting Rolling Thunders, but now they've lost both rounds they've used Rolling Thunder. And we're going to see NRG start flexing towards B. It's been a few rounds here. So they're hoping to get the soft side out of Cloud9.
Another dropping smoke coming out from Vanity just to see if they can catch a timing. But it's instead NRG that gets that timing. Not done yet once again by Rooney, but everybody's dropping at least. Oxy for the support. Both of them fall on top of that. And it seems as though the paranoia wasn't enough to support them. Nightfall out, Vanity down to 1 HP, gets sprayed through as well.
Yeah, tethered up easy. And yeah, it's going to be a runaway for Moose. So, a little bit of a mid-strat after the timeout we saw called a few rounds ago. Then towards A, Cloud9 has had a pretty good read on it, but NRG go back to B, back to being able to just aftershock out these trips, get themselves into sight. Overall, though, really nice job absorbing that early fight from C9. There hasn't been much action B main, and you see instantly how fast NRG plays reactive. I think that's one of the biggest things, too, and this one is throughout game 1, even 2, where NRG lost, the reactive style to each play C9 has almost pauses the round as teams readjust and figure out how to get back into it. It favors NRG so much.
Yeah, and I don't know if there was a slight hesitation for Cloud9 too after the dropping smoke to insert once again. And they're going to try that again on that trap play with the camera.
Yep. Giving C9 just a little bit of the same look here, but with an idea for NRG to also flex towards A. See if there's a rotation.
What a good read.
Ooh, seized up too. You're not going anywhere, Oxy.
I mean, Ethan was already waiting behind. You had the C's waiting, and then the high gear is the one that's going to bait out the rocket. So that's a great start by NRG, and a great call once again by Finesse, who just read that like a book.
You even saw FNS was over here with Sam to begin, and he ran back over to throw that cam in just to sell that fake even more. They go for what is a re-hit that C9 has to consider, but it's not a re-hit. They're moving towards the right side of the map, and Zeppa, always the anchor, hasn't moved just yet. Could be the one to thwart this rotation. It's going to be a lot of time before the rest of the C9 members get here, and it looks like Victor's ready to go.
Yeah, and after he broke that camera, he has to give up that spot. TP inside that site, spot Zeppa once again towards the back of the spawn, so Gate is also given up by Cloud9. All of them grouping up now towards
30
shop.
seconds left.
No utility left for Zeppa either for them to work through the smoke. So they're probably going to have to go through the swing.
Triple face on the dumpster.
Vanity has paranoia, shorty close, there's 1 for 1. But I don't think the paranoia was thrown to allow the last 3 players to rotate back from the spawn. And that's all of C9 about to walk out 1 by 1 through the smoke. And 1 by 1 they fall.
In rounds now, 3 sheriffs, just the hero rifle out onto Rooney.
The sheriff from Vanity does get a chest shot onto Victor, but the speed is quick, able to TP away though at least. Victor continue to high gear inside the site. Vanity finally manages to dodge all of that util. Stays alive for now, but the site's given up, and NRG gets the plant down until the paint shells come through and drop Ethan. Through the smoke though, Crashy's giving it a look back over to NRG. 4 versus 4. Fast lane to allow now Victor to fall back towards B main, and it looks to be the spam game all over again.
Not ready yet.
Slow in. They even have a trip if they try to push here on the crossfire in B main.
C's being thrown, and there's a spray through the smoke. There's another tap, and we're just trying to find a timing off those reloads, but there's just so many players out from NRG towards this B main to really not give a chance now for Cloud9 to find that timing to fight back. Crashies
Slides into sight again and has nothing to worry about. If it's clear, he gets to look at the entrance to the site. Yeah, nothing really Victor has to do other than aim at heads on that site entry. The utility is so good behind him. Off your feet, Oxy, and he gets thrown right into the fire, or line of fire.
Paranoias as well being thrown from both teams, so a stalemate to come across, and they're just trying to force the hand. The C9 are going to try to push back and fight back towards middle, but the Seekers does enough. It spots all 3, at least 3 out of the 5 up towards B-Link. Nox is at 1 HP after the first commitment of NRG towards news.
Anchoring inside here. Quick heal. And a quick clear. So good info grabbed at least by the Trailblazer. Doesn't go to just the wayside there. They pick up at least a few members firing Vandals at A main. But the B play, I think Victor feels so safe going into this site, the way they can destroy the trips, and him taking space with the utility. Haunts up for Crashies. You're going to see that go over the stairs into sight. We might just get a fault line towards the right side too, so Victor's safe on this entry.
That's the thing, you give the space for energy, they're definitely gonna take it. Hot did get some information, but Moose still wins that fight against Victor. So no dive, no opening, no first blood, but at least the plant. A drop down from Vanity though, as Finesse is able to push right back out. Saw him trying to lurk across, crouching under the platform. Finesse just right next to their trip, forces himself, baits it out so that Som can pop up, but couldn't land the shots. He now stands alone, and there's Oxy with the shorty.
So many rounds we've seen C9 just press W at a time NRG's not thinking. Vanity dropping into sight. It was Moose off a cat.
Going for late mid control. It's gonna stay pretty quiet for now. Not for NRG though.
Util used across the map here. We just saw Zeppa throw a guiding light into back alley, which was noticed, but everybody being seen on the left side here is going to cause pause for NRG as they do not rotate out of position just yet.
There's that Util. A little bit of a stall coming through with the relay bolts thrown by Victor. None left, but actually one left as he's going to fall back for a bit with the slide available for him in that kit. And with that though, seems like C9 wants to push back towards the site, but they don't really have information of how many players are moving through and where their positions could be.
Just very big on inserting members into positions right now. Vanity here on the left side. You got the IGL away from the team, so this is going to be all up to the squad here on the right, but they're also leaving Moose in mid, so this 3 squad's going to have to work together here to trade a kill, or at least come out on top. Actually, it's only 2 now. It's like breadcrumbs here for Cloud9. They're just leaving one person every so often, just to make sure there's no flank on any of their positions.
30 seconds left.
Looks like Rooney just got spotted though from the back of the site. And that's Som trying to hold his ground. A push here towards Generator as Finesse drops 2. And that's the lack of utility, that single initiator that the Des was talking about. Or that Util was already used to try to find information at the beginning. But Moose, at least is trying to find some fight. 10 seconds left. Vanity is now left alone.
I have the spike.
Ghost upgraded. Has to stick the spike. An easy kill for Som. But yeah.
This is just, the 1-on-1s are too much for C9 right now. They got to fix it. NRG here going to pull that first round into their favor. And now go ahead for a hard A stack. So C9's chosen correctly. But it's going to be a hell of a post plant here. It's just basically a rush and plant for them.
They'll spot Som on a top of news. ADSing with the Bulldog, and it's just easy pickings. Nobody's trying to swing across here. Nobody's trying to push inside that smoke. Finally, some damage done. But there's always 1 or 2 players behind that.
The breach and a fade. So what can they formulate? Or what can they do? Not even really leaving their spawn to start this one. They're going to go ahead and give a lot of map space to NRG to start. This could prove dangerous.
We threw a flash at the very beginning to see if there's going to be a contact from NRG for mid control. And still leaving Rooney the one that's going to be watching the flank. So that the utility used by Moose with this camera could support Cloud9 on early B main control. But yeah, it's just going back and forth right now. It's the long game for Cloud9. Trying to force some sort of mistake out of NRG when they've already broke the trip earlier on towards this A site with the Prowler.
Yeah. And they got Crashies online here to watch down A main so early. See a lot of players doing that. Superman grabbing so many kills in situations like that. I mean, if you're giving NRG that space, they're going to take it. So very nice job by C9 to say, now back off of these forward angles. We're taking a little bit of the map back because it doesn't seem like they have enough control to do what they want to do just yet. Here towards mid, a camera is going to give all the info if Moose even tries to get up in here.
As it breaks.
Yeah, nice shot.
Pinch back towards the A site. They even heard the rotate though from Victor all the way towards the spawn, and the cage comes up. He's trying to get a spray across it, but all of C9 able to stay alive and move inside the A site. Plant attempt, 13 seconds left. Wow. Pushed out of it. Moose now tries to go for a second attempt, but no wall bangs coming in from the spawn.
Planted the spike.
It'll be a 5 versus 5 fight in a pulse plant now.
What a drawn-out round from C9. I don't think we've seen one this late throughout the entire series here. They're going to have to lock it in here for the retake.
Paranoia's going to hit 2 really bold. Is actually going to concuss Rooney and not give himself a chance here to get first. What a slide! Oh, double headshot slide! And that allows here the rest of NRG to move forward. Oxy now left alone. There's that first, catching Ethan on a reload. But Ethan stays alive and wins it with the stinger.
Dude, Ethan is something else this series. Pressure, then controlled the map a little bit.
Gotta go.
I'd say if they can insert somebody a little deeper even on these rounds to get more info, they're better off. Not out, but a low buy on this is going to make it very tough. And it's up to Oxy basically blasting in.
And C9 haven't really gone for a full commit pop towards the B side, so they want to test it with the lower weapons. And it's the overdrive that gets to just slide it across here and just drain that damage. And there's that third in the round.
Clear through, and that's what we're seeing.
It's just too dangerous right now, and in the eyes of Cloud9. This gives me reminiscence of when they played against Sentinels and not able to convert any attack rounds outside of potentially just pistols. And NRG has full control, and they're doing what you kind of wanted C9 to do. Just push forward, fight, gain that space. Force them into where the stack could be, where the delay could be, and it's the paranoia out towards the market from Som. It's going to push a couple of these players away.
Oh. That kill, Som almost had his back to Moose there for a second, but just off the moment as Moose was peeking something else. And Som is going to go ahead and get the safety, just chipped up a little bit on the damage. NRG is basically shoveling C9 over towards this B site, and they're going to be ready for the retake after this post plant.
So the paint shells to bring the trips towards the front. A pinch towards the B site from Market and B main, and once again, NRG comfortable of giving up the sites.
Yep.
And you look at the util that's still available for them for the retake, it's a lot. And Vanity is looking to push towards the spawn. Trying to find an opening, and nobody's pushing through back, except for the flank of Victor. And now you're gonna start swarming in. There's that haunt of the slide headshot onto Zeppa! And he's playing Apex right now. Only Vanity is left. And that's only one kill to his name. And NRG are now at series point.
Play a little default here just to read an NRG push, recognizing that map control knowledge is too much. We'll see a B main control though for C9.
Saving grace potentially here, at least a trade. But they have Seekers. Now a showstopper after the Oxy kill onto Victor. A chance to turn it around, but no more smokes. Well, as I say that, I forgot they have Rooney, who is just playing A main the whole time on the first half. And
that's a good point. What have the smokes been doing that facilitate what Cloud9 wants to bring to the table? It seems like NRG is not worried about it. Here, play towards A main.
Showstopper out. He goes long range.
What? Wait, what?
They dodged it. But at least we're throwing C's nades, trying to keep Ethan cornered. Jumps out, finally gets picked off. Meanwhile, the Crashies has made it inside the site. There's that push forward, a three-player swing, this time towards the generator. Back and forth we go. But it's up to Finesse alone. A chance here for C9 to stay alive.
Spike planted.
Plant now down. Ult available for Rooney too. So he'll play the contact. He'll jiggle to find the information. Neural Theft also being thrown to ping out Finesse inside the back of this A site. You're just gonna wait it out. First contact will be Rooney no matter what. Finesse walks forward and Rooney crosses that line. And
Raider, the economy for NRG is there and ready to shut down C9 at every turn.
you see Oxy already rotating out here to group up with Rooney. And a fake flash towards B main for Zeppa. So they're trying to use this Clo Vault potentially to just be the spearhead to try to get inside this A site.
They have for it a good clear on elbow here with that Clo Vault. Maybe a little fade utility after it. Crashies gives himself a little breathing room here. NRG with a peek on B main. Aren't going to be in the right spot. And now it's Rooney moving in with the overheal. They're going to get a plant. And yeah, looks like NRG is just going to consider this a very slow round on the rotation.
Moose able to drop one. That is Ethan. And looks like after that drop, Rooney doesn't want to go for the ult. He's just going to try to stay here into the astral plane and just smoke for his teammates. As they have 4 players anchored up for Cloud9, only one playing towards the extremity. That's going to be Moose. His role now is to high-low with Oxy to look towards the pawn shop. But NRG are rotating back towards the gate, and before the smoke blooms, Vanity is able to connect that kill into Finesse. And that will force the last 2 players to fall back and save their rifles into the next round, especially when Victor invested in an op.
Yep, which C9 have not heard yet. That op was on a B main watch. And that was Cloud9 starting at B main, right? Continuously putting Oxy there to start, looking for a few fights. As last round, Zeppa, or a few rounds, had been guiding light or using utility towards A. As you mentioned, we got that utility towards B and the movement towards A this time. So here from Rooney. Puts it in front of him.
Again, remember, NRG, they only need this one round to stay alive in the race for playoff contention. C9 is trying to bring this into an overtime and hopefully win this to clinch a playoff spot. Victor under heavy attack. There's a lot of util being thrown. Metal on the top of that to debunk him as he decays away and swings back in. But it's 2 first blood scored by C9.
This is big. This is the momentum they need. They can start to get through these rounds, grab that off down.
Going out.
Wasn't even really used by Victor. And C9 are going to be able to hold this. That's an NRG save. A little bit of an up-tempo here by Cloud9. Gets them in towards the back of the site very fast. They still got the ultimate to use for Rooney if they want to try something out of the box in these rounds to come. But yeah, really nicely. Possibly getting the flawless on this round, but they're going to go hunting Vans. They could use a few more alt orbs on a priority like Zeppa for sure, or Oxy.
And also trying to hurt the economy on the side of NRG. A chance to come back on top of that. Yeah, Crush is able to get 2. And Ethan and Som still contested. One-way smoke on the top of news. Vanity trying to lurk around and try to find him. Looking back towards that B side instantly.
Around. Another buy here for NRG. Same on C9.
And look at these pings coming through. This time they're looking to fight against Rooney. Every time he jiggles up towards the elbow because he has this ult available. And this time they're able to fault line and fight back, but Rooney's moving in alone. So they've actually conditioned this for Cloud9 to start. So keeping Rooney inserted here, 4 players working up towards middle. They break the camera and potentially now starts breaking the rotate from NRG.
Absolutely. And you can see the attention here on the mini-map looking back. Now they have to watch over with that camera gone. A lot of worry has to be had about their defensive side now being an attack side for C9. It looks like the spike is actually going to commit here. They're going to try to split towards A, but I don't know how long these smokes last.
A dangerous one for sure, especially with the spike moving up towards the pawn shop.
Oh,
Pincer maneuver on both sides, and that's Oxy opening it up. Let's go! Okay.
Yeah, I don't think NRG thought they were going to dissipate in 3 or 4 seconds as they approached that area. They got caught right out in the open on those peaks.
We talk about all the chances available for NRG, though. They've been at that point for a long time.
They have.
Just a matter of time until they start bringing these ultimates in their favor, too.
3 chances. Pushing in a very slow round. This is like watching the death ball. They're sitting on the mailbox back here in spawn. Trying to give NRG a different look, though.
You're going to hear all that, at least from the B main, so that's going to force the pivot now. C9 to tempo up towards this B side. Showstopper pushing some away down to 41 HP. And there's the overdrive towards the back of the site. But it's a twofer for Cloud9, the advantage coming through. And no opportunities for NRG to flip back inside the site. Ethan now getting caught towards the back by the dog. And he's now pinned. Met up with Crashies, who runs by and gets the headshot of the Vanity, and somehow it's a 2 versus 2. Spike is down. Crashies. Another one up to Rooney, forces the res, Moose gets the pick. And Crashies once again is trying to get another momentum clutch for NRG to close out the series if it can. Camera pings him. He doesn't care to remove the dart.
Nah, use it.
Hot now out to swing out from Cloud9.
He denies this line that Crashies wants to get on right away, right? Walks up, but he's not going to see much and has to wonder what's on the other side. Already backs away from it a little bit. The push, though, from Victor is new for NRG. And there's a lot of support there just on the back from Ethan to fault line down through mid or tiles to deny a push on Victor.
And that bird actually got popped in front of the door. So that does get information if there's players pushing down towards middle or people peeking inside news, and now they realize that. For NRG, they fall back, close their door, give it up, especially with the lower buy that you have. You just want to let C9 walk into your potential stack, and it's a gamble now to rotate more members towards this A site. Well, maybe a second guess now from Victor.
It's like Oxy wants to either play with Vanity or go the other way. Man, they really like the way mid worked out for him last time. But do they have the smokes for it again? Looks like a contact play.
Vanity does have it, but they exactly what you're calling.
Yeah.
Just trying to walk across, and NRG staying timid on the control. And there is that timing.
What movement?
Ethan still in the back of the spawn. There's 30 seconds left. Soon they'll realize now that the A side is open and Moose is going to be the one lurking and trying to cut the rotates. Able to drop the first one now, and as his cage comes down, he'll be met up by both Finesse and Som. And he'll clean both of them up.
To it, Rolling Thunder's there for denial. And see how they play this round as C9 stays on their own side to start it off again.
This is a crazy call. Again, NRG not forced to use a Rolling Thunder before, making sure that their economy is right.
Yeah.
But in the last round of regulation, an AWP comes out early for Vanity. Unorthodox play as they've been so good in rotating across the map with these pinches towards this A side. It seems as though the call is to try to have them pick towards the B main, which might allow here C9 to move through.
Another smoke out you actually see towards A, just coming in right there from Rooney. That's going to make the NRG members at A think they might get a little bit of a play. It calls from the shadows in. Som can deny that there's no members pushing, and you see the rotation coming in from B already.
Zippa picked up the orb, is trying to move in here so he can get a plant and get Seekers. It's not planted at the staircase, it's planted safe. Maybe now for C9 to have to fight inside the site. First blood then comes in for Finesse, who throws out that hat. Seekers then coming out as well for C9 as they're battling towards the back of the B site. That's a 1-for-1, big flash coming through, and Finesse somehow gets the kill while full blinded. There's a hat thrown once again, and we have a Rolling Thunder out on the defensive side. Disadvantage in terms of C9, in terms of the numbers left alive. But all these smokes coming through again, it's not really planted for them. Finesse gets another pick. Only 2 left alive here at Cloud9, and they're just spraying across the smoke. Finally, Victor commits onto the defuse. The double swing inside, a triple kill, and
Getting hit with.
and how close were they on the defuse, but let's hold that thought. Vanity first headshot onto Victor.
Still
TP's
cooking.
away. Still trying to push forward his energy, trying to punish Vanity. As you saw, the trip came down, it's going to slow a couple of players, and C9 plays the numbers advantage in the first round of overtime.
And they have A main control right now, so this is an easy figure out for C9 that they can stay here. Zeppa just has to watch mid for a little bit of a peek. And yeah, you're right, that first blood is so big because it's Victor. Who's going to dash into sight now? Nobody. So they're going to have to use this util extra careful and be on each other's shoulder that much more for the side of NRG to get into the site.
Smokes came up towards middle. You saw the dog come down at the beginning as well. And insert it is definitely Oxy watching down towards the A ramp. So good map control allows Cloud9 once again to get another pick. And Vanity, over eager, tries to go for another peek, and he actually just gets punished by Som. Ethan now down to 10 HP through the smoke. Head shotted by the Phantom of Moose here on the top of the staircase.
30
Oxy
seconds left.
on that flank. Spike's going to go down, but I don't know if Ethan's going to be ready for this.
And it's such a crazy plan, it's not for anything. And Som's alone in the back line, traded out by Rooney. C9 with the defuse, and they are the ones at serious point.
On both teams, if you look at the scoreboard. But it is going to be game point for C9.
There's no up here for Victor, but they are definitely still looking for the control towards B main. Now the camera is set up. It's going to allow the players to rotate out, but look at C9 walking instantly on top of middle. Rare move here, as we talked about the amount of times they've been working towards the extremities. Victor holding towards the spawn, but it's a 1-for-1. Now Oxy looking to push back towards the Boba. TP coming out from Som to retreat back towards the B site. And Cloud9 are looking for this pinch. A final stand for both Finesse and Som towards the B. As the others are rotating, trying to find flanks. Everybody is isolated. There's that first lineup, but it's a 1-for-1.
B.
Sight up for grabs for C9. And this may be the final moments of NRG.
It'd be a beautiful comeback here for C9. Remember, they're strewn about the map. NRG's going to have such a hard time trying to clear all these angles. A first shot from Moxie. And Rooney is low here. If Ethan and Crashies hit these shots, they're right in the spike.
And Crashies hit the trip. They know he's coming B main. He's all alone once again in another clutch attempt. Trip now broken. Camera is up. The first wall bang onto Rooney. Tap onto the spike. Last 2 players of Cloud9 back towards the market. Goes for that second tap. As the satchel comes up. The death split coming through. Not enough time. Moose comes out for the kill. Cloud9, welcome to the playoffs.
Cloud9 stun NRG. Coming out on top, coming back from behind. After a set, it looked dark. But they found the win on Sunset and Icebox. Never be worried about Cloud9 losing the first map, it seems. And man, you can see it on NRG's face. They're in control the whole time. How does the momentum go back to C9? The calls in mid. Vanity being able to figure out what the safest part of the map is because they didn't have the same util. This isn't an initiator comp to get in. It's a double smoke comp that's supposed to make their own angles and make sure they give Oxy enough room to do the work. And Oxy did the work today.
Yeah, that double controller was so good here for Cloud9. Towards the end, we're questioning it. It was the amount of smokes that allowed them to micro scale up for the mid control. So many pinch moments that came out from Cloud9 as how they worked